All right, we're here for definitely the very first time, and sorry if the pause took a little bit longer, but Betty reminded me that I hadn't updated the streaming title. So yeah, good catch there. Yeah, we are here to play a little bit of the Fallout TTRPG. For those of you who follow us on Twitch, we had a little bit of a rundown of like the rule system, and we established some facts for the narrative in advance, all of which I'm sure will come out and play. But before we get rolling, hey, let's do that thing where we let people know who you are and who you're playing. We'll start with you, Rith.
Hey, I'm Riff. You might remember me from such TTRPGs as Dune and Star Trek Discovery, also using the same system. This game, I am playing Royce McClintock. He is kind of a charismatic but gruff wastelander who seems to have his ear in everybody's business.
And villain.
I am Villain, or Your Only Villain, or Vil. I am playing Stan, and I'm gonna go with Likely, is his last name. So I am playing a ghoul. I'm kind of been just kind of traveling the wasteland. Kind of ended up at MSP. And met Roy up here. We'll see what type of shenanigans we get into.
Yes.
Govian?
Hello there. I am Mortimer. I'm actually Govan, but I am playing Mortimer. I am one of the Mr. Handy robots, and I am here to make sure that my Vault Dweller stays alive and is healthy.
Yep.
Speaking of my Vault Dweller, Backwin, it is your turn.
Hi, I'm Backwin. I'll be playing Zam, who might be zealous. We'll see how my energy goes today. I am a Vault Dweller of Vault 113. It is a swell place to be, and I was very happy to be there. And I'm just going to leave it for a little bit and explore.
Yeah.
Maybe. We might return after like a couple hours. But we'll see how things go.
I mean,
hopefully I can see one of those really magical. I think they're called deer. I want to pet one.
Yeah.
I think that would be really, really, really nice.
You can pet both heads. Yeah, I mean, Vault 113 is a really swell place to be, except in every way that matters. It's all you've known. But it has been a real pain since your dad died. Your father, he was very old, and there's no mother around, really. There's some vague story he told you about, I don't know, she died or something. And he certainly looked a lot like you. But, it's fine. The good news is there's, 5 or 6 people still in cryosleep in Vault 113. And you've been promised by Mortimer that one day all will be revealed, and you may get a chance to wake up one of them, but it will have to wait until you're much older. For obvious reasons, we all know what's going on at Vault 113. And you also know that there were, at one point, many more people who in cryosleep in Vault 113, but there was a radiation leak from the main reactor that damaged many of the subjects, the residents, such that there's only a few left. So, yeah, and you are subjected to daily physical aptitude and mental acuity tests in the med bay. And you're not sure why, but you always score too well to be told why it's important that they, specifically, not they, there's only one other person, Mortimer, is keeping tabs on you. But Mortimer is your friend and father figure and teacher and everything of your life. Until, I think it's a normal day in Vault 113. Zam, you are being quizzed on world history, which of course ended 200 years ago, but it's vital to know. The Tonkin incident is probably what you're going through. It's super duper important for you to understand. Definitely is going to help you survive in the wasteland. Yeah, you hear voices. like coming through the piping, the air ducts.
Mortimer, I don't mean to interrupt our very brilliant lesson that we have, but can you hear that?
Hear what, sir? I don't know what you're talking about.
There's light voices in the air ducts, I think.
I think
I'm
I need
pretty
to
sure it's not
call
birds
Miss
this
Nanny.
time.
I think I need to call Miss Nanny to check on your psychiatric state. Give me one moment.
Okay.
So do you?
Oh, I sit quietly and behave.
So Mortimer, are you going to go into the med bay? So to clarify, there isn't a Miss Nanny here. There's the med bay, which, as far as Zam knows, is all just machinery. So Mortimer will say, I need to check the consoles in med bay to see. And I'm sure there are environmental controls and tagging for various different residents, alive or frozen. So that is the right place to go. So Mortimer, you're going off to the med bay while Zam sits in the classroom. Excellent. Well, of course, as usual, Mortimer, as soon as you walk in, the dulcet tones of Mildred come over the speakers. Hey, Morty.
Hello, Mildred. How are you
It's not
today?
time for the exams, is it? I don't see our son with you.
I had some concerns. He started talking about hearing voices through the air ducts, and I didn't hear them.
Oh,
And
well, clearly
it
he's
kinda
suffering from some sort of psychotic break. It's probably important that we administer psychoactive drugs immediately, don't you think?
that would be the best decision, if you say so.
Well, this is my specialty.
That
Oh,
is
and by the way,
correct.
in case you notice, the internal monitors on floors 1 through 10 are fritzing out, so I don't actually have any coverage in those areas. Nothing to worry about. I'm running an internal diagnostic and executing some self-repair algorithms as we speak.
I know that Y2K bug really did affect your systems, so I understand.
Oh, Morty, you're so funny. All right, we'll bring our son in here and then we'll get him all dosed up. Can't have him feeling distressed.
Okay.
So what happens? Actually, put a pin in that. Royce and Stan. Royce, this probably was years ago. You did a job. It was very dangerous. A number of the people that you worked with, including some people that you had counted as friends or close associates, died. It was a real problem. But you were successful in recovering the item that you needed to for one of the members of the Academia faction. And in addition to caps and purified water and some Radaway and the normal kind of payment, they provided you with a special item, which was a Pip-Boy. They had a number of them, and this one has been repaired. It doesn't quite have all the functionality, but this contact within academia probably thought you were kind of charming. So they decided to give you this partially functional Pip-Boy just in case you ever run across a vault. So you have successfully located and opened the big gear-like door into Vault 113. Have Royce or Stan ever been in a vault before?
Oh.
Or like heard detailed stories?
I
Got
would
as
say
far as the
stick.
entrance once.
Hmm?
Got as far as the entrance once, but that was the rest of it was all caved in.
Okay. So you're not quite sure what to expect.
Right.
Well, this place feels like empty. Like it's not dusty. It doesn't have it doesn't look run down. It doesn't look decayed. The lights are all on. I mean, this is probably the first time in your lives, or one of the only times at least, that you've experienced like processed air conditioning, water fountains on the wall that don't have radiation signs over them. But it is shockingly clean and shockingly empty. There's not like a wrench left out on a table. There's not a random toolbox. It looks like it was manufactured, placed underground, and then just locked away without human eyes sitting on it for centuries. And there doesn't appear to be significant security. The one thing that you can see as non-functional is that there are a number of, like you probably would know what this is, a number of cameras that are like pointed down, and they don't have any power on them, which is, you probably notice that it's odd because the lights seem to be on. Various other little consoles seem to be beeping and booping and flashing lights, but the cameras seem to be off. What do you do?
Roy is gonna go straight over to a water fountain and drink some of the purified water instantly. Just kind of one of those, haven't had purified water in a long time, so he's gonna drink some and then fill up his canteen. And Roy, why don't you get some? Maybe we can make some profit off of this. Some purified water.
Yeah, if that's the clean stuff, this could be a huge haul just on that.
Yeah, it tastes clean. I don't taste any radiation in this stuff. Good
The
stuff.
the Geiger counter that is on your reclaimed Pip-Boy does work. It goes on the fritz a little bit. You have to bang it every once in a while, but it works enough
check
that
it out.
yeah, you can pass it. Hey, why don't you give me an intelligence science roll with difficulty 0? See if you can earn some action points. I mean, intelligence isn't your highest, but still.
Nope. So intelligence of 5. So we'll see if I can get some luck. I got a 7 and an 8.
Okay. It fritzes out. I will say, it works for a second, long enough that you can tell it's not picking up any rads, or if it is, it's picking up rads coming from you and Stan. Because Stan, I think, is probably lightly radioactive as a ghoul, but it's enough that you can tell that it's clear, or certainly safer than what you would get outside, but you don't get any additional information.
Oh yeah, I'd even with that little blip, all in.
Cool.
Like looking for cups or anything to seal to take back extra water. We've made it all of 10 feet in the vault.
Oh, you want to? Well, you can certainly explore around and see. The good news is that there are signs, light up signs down different corridors, and actually relatively near you is a "Welcome to Vault 113, a Syntech and Vault-Tech collaboration," and it has like a mall directory, and you can see that there is there's medical and residential and engineering on one side, and classrooms, commissary, and then I got some other stuff. Greenhouse, hydroponics on the other side. So two things occur. One, commissary, probably good place to get glasses, cups, maybe some containers.
Or some food.
Or some potentially some preserved food, and also hydroponics, like maybe some non-mutated plants, if this place is functional with no people in it.
Well, Roy, I mean, we have quite a bit of an option here. Do we want to go get food, or do we want to go get meds? Go get some buff outs, some sim packs, some Radaway. I mean, this place doesn't look touched at all.
Yeah, I haven't had a good meal, and I can't remember when. I mean, I don't know and I'm sorry if this is offensive, but I don't know if food does the same thing for your kind, but like some actual fresh food, I've heard it just is amazing.
I mean, at
That's
this
the way
point,
I want to go.
Yeah,
Maybe there's some new canteens or something we can get down there.
There you go. I'm gonna say most of the food tastes the same at this point.
Yeah. And you don't have to eat as much or sleep as much because the radiation preserves you until you become feral. Which, you know, we'll see. Maybe that's a result of a complication. Cool. Well, how would someone like to give me a survival roll? And the other person can
Survival roll.
assist. So assisting
Cool.
is you roll a single d20 using your stats. As long as the main person succeeds, if you roll any successes, then they add to the total.
So I am tagged in survival. I have a +2.
Yep.
With my endurance being 7.
So that's a target of 9.
I will assist.
Cool. So 2d20 from Stan, 1d20 from Royce to assist.
So that is an 11 and 17 over
A
9.
Okay. And since you did not roll a success, that means that Royce, no matter what you rolled, unless you roll a complication, did you roll a natural 20?
I did not.
Okay. Then, yeah, I think it's there are labels everywhere, so it's not that it's that hard, and you don't get hopelessly lost, but it's just really disorienting. It's quiet, it's clean, it doesn't smell, it's very brightly lit. It's a little spooky. And so like every once in a while you'll walk by and the chiller on one of the water fountains will kick on and you'll both, you know, like maybe half draw your guns. So there's a little bit of, you just aren't making the best progress getting to the commissary. Back to Mortimer. What do you do? Mildred clearly wants to put Zam on a Thorazine drip.
So, out of player context, do I have the ability to do certain things? Like, check and see if I have notifications that might have popped up?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You know, for this, why don't you just roll perception for me? Or perception, or you could do science. But I think that since this is like more like your internal systems, I'm just gonna say roll perception.
Okay. I got a 5 and a 17.
And what is your perception score?
6.
Okay, so 1 success. I'm gonna say this is difficulty 0, so you have earned 1 action point, which you may use or bank. So, you don't have any system notifications at all, which is weird. I mean, you basically just stick most of the constant status updates about you know, Zam and about the program and about the various different facilities and the efficiency of the reactor and the water purifiers and all that stuff. Like you basically just stick that in a back buffer for when Zam is sleeping, because you probably enjoy going through all that kind of detail. But at least for the past hour or so, you have received no updates.
Okay.
And you can use that. So you have an action point remaining, or you have earned an action point. You could spend that to, for example, get more information, or you could bank it for later use.
I think I'm gonna bank it and head back to go see Zam.
Okay, cool. So just kind of log that as an error report that you can deal with while Zam is sleeping. Great. Well, Zam, I think it's probably only been maybe 15 minutes and Mortimer returns. What happens?
Hello, Mortimer. Is everything all right?
Hello, sir. Things seem all right, sir. But when you said earlier you heard voices, do you still hear them?
I don't know.
You like you heard them, but Mortimer was talking, so like you weren't quite sure, and then you heard them again, and that's when you spoke up, and then Mortimer left, and you listened for a while, and you didn't hear any, and you kind of decided it was just your imagination, and then you heard like movement, like you can swear you heard one of the pneumatic doors open, not on your floor, but maybe like up one floor. And then you've heard occasionally like maybe like a scuffling sound and maybe a murmur. But like this isn't one of the vaults that has rad roaches or whatever. Like there's no other living thing in this vault outside the plants and hydroponics, except for Zam and whatever is in the completely sealed, can't look inside cryo chambers.
Right. No, no more voices, Mortimer. I thought I heard a door open above me somewhere.
Which, Mortimer,
Okay.
your logs would show if a door opened, except that you have no system notifications for the past hour.
Interesting. I have not received the normal notifications for the past few hours. That concerns me because I get periodical notifications about all the systems. So maybe you were hearing something and now they are hiding.
Hey?
What do you think we should do about that, Sam?
Hmm. Um,
My normal protocol is to protect you, but I currently do not know how to react to this current situation. I have not had this happen in over 100 years.
ah, perhaps, we should, well, I should get a weapon. For self-defense, obviously.
That is probably a good idea, as it could be anything.
Well, Zam, you
I
are
don't want.
technically... Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. You're good.
Zam, you are technically the overseer. And you know that there is a 10mm pistol in the overseer's desk in the overseer's office, as well as the main system control.
Ah, yeah, that, Mortimer, we should go to, my office, so I can double check all of the systems and get my gun.
That is probably a good idea, because AI is great, but we do slip up and miss things once in a while.
Yes.
Cool. Royce or Stan, give me a luck roll. One of you.
I'm sick. Go ahead, Roy.
I got a 3, which is well under my luck of 7.
Cool. That will count as another action point. But I'm going to say that you're probably going to need to bank it. You can bank it or you can spend it to get more information. Your choice. It's a roll you don't know you're making, but it might also help you find some information.
We'll look into some information.
Okay. So you guys have been kind of creeping around. It's like being in a library. You're just like, you find yourselves whispering for no reason, even though you're the only people here. But yes, you have eventually realized that some of these passageways are a little bit circuitous and they all look the same. But I'm going to say you got the bright idea to start like marking junctions with just like maybe some of the grime off of your outfit, just to like know where you've been. And that has helped you. So you have arrived at the commissary. and it is stocked. It is stocked with preserved food, but also stocked with fresh fruit, fresh food, fresh produce. There's something that looks like a tato, only it's smooth and bright red. There's no mute fruit to be found, unfortunately, which of course is everyone's favorite. But there are things that look kind of like mute fruit, but they're very small and they're not knobbly, and they come in bunches. There's some sort of strange kind of crescent shaped yellow fruit that when you smell it smells very sweet. And there is a bank of refrigerators and of course a freezer and all the canned goods and dehydrated goods and all the fresh produce. And as you're looking in that, you see prepared meals, a few of them, and they're marked with days of the week. And I will say you also see in a waste bin some like empty canisters. And it seems, and like just from the smell, like it doesn't smell rancid. So it is clear to you
These are
that
fresh.
this vault is not abandoned.
Also, yeah, that they're definitely fresh, and that means someone's living here. But where?
Wow, I mean, we only went one way, but I gotta try some of this food. I mean, Royce will go through and take a bite out of basically everything, but not knowing how to eat anything. He's just literally taking a bite. So like full on that yellow thing that's half curved, just like takes one and it bites it,
Right.
and just like, oh,
It's a little tough, but then you get to the creamy white center, and it's
like,
the sweetest thing you've
that,
tasted.
Yeah, and like that red thing, just like big bite, and
It's very juicy.
Yeah,
It's
like-
reminiscent of a tato, but tatoes aren't juicy like this. Tatoes are kind of woody and pulpy and dry. This is like it just dribbles all down you.
like eating and drinking at the same time. It's crazy.
I'm
There's
gonna
a
stick to
booze
the-
cabinet.
Oh, jackpot, Stan.
Yeah. I think I want to stick to the preserved food, and he's gonna walk over and he's just gonna throw his backpack on the ground and just start jumping food into it.
Just loading up.
Yeah. He's gonna walk over to the prepared area as well and look at the days of the week and see how many are missing.
So there's a Wednesday dinner, a Thursday breakfast, Thursday lunch, Thursday dinner. There's a couple of there's a little basket that has snacks. Only take 2 a day. A little Vault Boy sign. It's like, greedy eaters put the community at risk. Only take 2 snacks per day. But it's like little things wrapped in cellophane. I'm not quite sure what they are. And then, so there's like a day and a half or 2 days worth of 3 meals a day.
Dan's gonna just push the Vault Boy thing over and just take all the snacks.
Just load up on all the Rice Krispie bars.
Yeah.
They're all Girl Scout cookies.
Ooh.
Samosas.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. They're Pip Scout cookies. Yeah, cool. So yeah, you guys are making a mess in the commissary. Beautiful. Cool. Well, Zam and Mortimer, you are up in the overseer's office. You see a wall of monitors. So is that typical kind of circular desk with the big kind of old school Mac style console in the center. But then there's also a set of screens that are useful for monitoring what's going on in the vault, which of course is not something that you typically do, Zam, much of, because nothing goes on in the vault unless you're there. But you can see that fully 3/4 of the screens are blank.
Including
and
the
there's a strange kind of gobbledygook message flashing on the CRT, the green CRT screen of your master control console.
So the for the surveillance, the one for the vault door, is that all staticky?
Yeah, just because. Go ahead and give me a what would be good for you. It would be intelligence. Let's make it science.
Okay.
Because that's a good thing. That's a thing you're good at. Difficulty 0. Trying to get you some AP.
Get a 6 and a 15 over 12.
Okay, so you got 1 success.
Yes.
Cool. That is 1 action point, which you may use to get more information or whatever, or you may bank it. Someone needs to be keeping track of action points. Did we bank the earlier one?
The only one that's been banked
I have been
is
banked.
Go Vance, yes.
Okay, cool. I will find a pen to bank that. Actually, I should make one of you do it since it's your resource.
I have a die.
I have mine
Damn.
own.
Cool.
We're all doing it.
You can all do it. Good. So yes, but you don't have to decide to bank this one yet. Yes, in fact. So you can see the reactor room. You can see hydroponics. You can. I'm going to say, because we're not in exactly synchronous time here, I'm going to say that you see the commissary, and then you see the commissary monitor go black. And it looks like just the normal commissary, completely empty, nothing going on as usual. But as you're watching, you watch that screen go black.
Okay. That's odd.
What do you want to do about it?
I guess I will tap the monitor to see if it works.
You can give me a science repair or intelligence repair, difficulty 1,000,000. That's not true. But I mean, you tap on it and nothing happens.
Right, that's fair.
Is everything okay, Sam?
One of the cameras, I think, just went out. Unless it's the monitor itself, but I don't think I should have this many monitors down. When's the last time we changed the tubes in these?
It's on a
checked
6-month
them,
rotation.
and we actually just checked those 1 month ago, so they should be fine for another 300 years.
Okay.
Why do you ask, Sam?
I was just curious on the overall well-being of the maintenance of the system. I guess I will go to the main console and check the logs for every door.
Cool. Access denied. System overload. Check back later. Says the screen in the click, 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 click.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you try to put in your overseer credentials.
I have not seen that happen ever. This is a cause for concern. Can I roll to see if I would know if potentially someone tried to override our systems?
That sounds like a hacking roll to me.
I don't. What would that technically be?
Intelligence science.
Okay.
I think that's right.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll for that.
And Zam, you can help if you want.
Yes, I will help.
I don't know if he needs the help because I rolled a 1 and a 5.
Excellent.
My
You can
intelligence
still get
is
more
6.
action points because we still have that 1 pending. So go ahead and try to assist them. I mean, you could also roll complication, which would be fine with me. But
Sure it would. I already rolled. I rolled a 1.
oh, okay. And your score there, Mortimer, is above a 5, right?
Yes, my intelligence is a 6, not even including the other part.
The science. Cool. So yeah, that's a total of 6 action points. So I will tell you, so now you got 7 on play. You can only have 6 banked at any point, right? Which means we've got 2 that are going to expire at the end of this round regardless. So I'll tell you what you know without spending any more action points to know something. 100% the system has been compromised. It has been compromised in a way that is not super sophisticated. And as far as you can tell, the only thing that has been compromised are the security systems that detect movement, turning on and off lights, opening doors, and the cameras for a decent chunk of the upper floors of the vault. But like the air purifier, the water system, all the engineering and power generation and everything is completely untouched.
Okay.
With that being said, I think we should lock down all the doors for our safety, specifically yours.
Or possibly, if that's the last one that went out, that's where they could be in that general area. So what if we lock down that floor only?
If you are feeling safe with that decision, we can try to do that.
Yes, let's lock down just that floor, and then we will proceed to the stairs of that floor, and eventually they have to come and knock at the door at least. And then we can discern who they are and why they're here. And if they are very, very bad, which all of my stuff would kind of indicate they probably are, coming in without knocking is very rude. Then we can just turn off the air for that floor.
That, and we have other countermeasures to assist us.
Ah, yes, I like those too.
Cool. Let's get an opposed intelligence roll from Zam, since you're the one doing it.
Got a 3 and an 11 under 9. Or over 9, whatever.
So you got 1 success.
Yes.
And this should be a very straightforward thing to do, right? Just automatically close some doors.
Mm-hmm.
You can see, it's the whole little carrot and then what would you like to do? And you hit, close doors, and then you wait and wait and wait, and you're tempted to hit the back button, but it's still processing. And then it goes back and you have the same options again, only the option is to open the door. It doesn't say close door. I'm sorry. It doesn't say what it should say. You're expecting it to have a binary option: open the doors, close the doors. The options on that root menu page are still to close the doors.
Mortimer, it appears my commands aren't working. I think it's not.
We still have 2 floating,
Right.
that we can't bank. So you can get more information.
Yes, let's get more information pertaining to the overall system. If I can.
According to yes, so an action point on the overall system, there is no, at least to your knowledge, there is no external access. There's no way for anyone physically outside the vault to interface with the systems.
So there's no key for another Pip-Boy to open the vault door.
Oh well, I mean, someone could physically enter the vault, but there's no remote access to a different database that someone could use to hack in to compromise the systems. One would have to be physically present. It's air gapped, basically. You would have to be physically present here to get in. You still have one more hanging.
Yeah.
I would like to see if I possibly could override and fix the door issue.
Let's resolve the hanging action point, or else it's going to go away.
No, that's what I was saying. Can I use that for that?
You would have to bank it so that you can then. So you can certainly use an action point in the pool to buy an extra die to attempt an override. Yes.
We have to use the hanging one for information on something.
Or you're just. I mean, you don't have to. You're just going to lose it if we go to another action.
It'll be foregone. Can we use it to get information on the system build? Like, obviously, it was probably built around 2077 or around there, but its expiration, when is that?
The expiration? Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's just stopping due to a different command. It's expiring.
It expired in like 2079.
Oh, okay.
Because it hasn't had updates. Now there have been a bunch of different kind of versions and patches over time. Some of which, or actually many of which have been done, I would say exclusively, they have been done by either Mortimer or one of the previous overseers. But because it's an action point spend, I will say that there is a new beta version of the security and access control program. And you, well, I will say, yeah, why not? I will say you're digging in. That was a lot of successes, and Mortimer's helping. So I will say you're digging into the code and you see two things. One is the author of that version is not anyone you know. It's a name you've never heard before. The name is Mildred. And now that you are really down in the code, you realize it's not just the security system. There was also a patch to the communication system, specifically the external communication system, specifically the radio broadcast, which is a non-critical system, so you wouldn't have looked there. But it does look like someone has gained access to the vault's broadcasting ability. Put a pin in that. All right. You guys are gorging yourselves. You've probably never seen a salad before. What's the point of this?
Weeds. I don't know.
Yeah, right. There's probably an expanding pile of little ripped open cellophane as it's like, oh, look, this one, you squeeze it and white stuff comes out. Ew. There's a vending machine with Nuka Pop. Like, you're familiar with Nuka Cola, but up here it's Nuka Pop.
Random question.
Yes.
The overseer offices typically have a window that looks out onto something. Is that window overseeing the common area that we're in? See the window?
A player question, no. You're not in like a big atrium.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I thought we were in like the common area with all the food and stuff like that.
No,
okay.
you haven't
In the cafeteria.
You have not encountered a central gathering place, or you haven't encountered an atrium. I think everyone probably has heard stories about vaults. And there's certainly, I mean, there's a couple of vault dwellers who've, made a lot of havoc, depending upon what story is canon. They potentially took over the entire Commonwealth with a bunch of raiders, who knows, or blew up the Institute or turned everyone to sense. Who knows what happened? But everyone knows that vaults exist. Everyone has a general idea that, they're all kind of different. People in them are really weird if they're still alive, and probably knows that there was some sort of leader. And presumably that person would have an office or a location. And I would say, yes, you have seen the little mall signs and the pointers. So probably you have seen a sign that points to overseer and would know that, oh, that must be like the leader or something.
I think the reason why we ask is more so if we see them out the window
Mm-mm.
as they're doing so.
You do not. I would have made you make a
That's kinda-
perception roll.
I was gonna say that's kind of what I was getting at. Could they just turn around and look out the window and see us?
Yeah, because I was wondering too, because my brain was thinking canon vaults, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's
Mhm.
a thing, and I'm like, oh, we're not canon.
So Roy, I guess we probably shouldn't just, completely pack our packs with just food. Do we want to move to the next area? I mean, clearly
Yeah,
this
we're supposed to
place
find somebody here. That's what the rumor was anyway, that somebody was here looking for help. So we got to find somebody. Doesn't look like there's a lot of somebodies. There's not a lot of food for a whole lot of people.
I mean, did this?
I would say it's
Did
the
the
way around.
message-
This is food for a ton of people.
Oh, okay. There's just not evidence that there's been
only
a ton
evidence of one or maybe
Okay.
one and a small child.
Well, at this point, I feel like we should maybe just kind of maybe call out to see if we hear the person. I mean, I don't think that's maybe a good idea, but I mean, we're here to try to see someone to help them. We should just kind of start yelling for them. I mean,
I
who was this
guess.
person that we were supposed to see? Did you get a name?
Millie, Mill. I think it was Millie. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, and they're looking for help for their kid or something. So,
So there's two people here.
but it was just to help get the kid out. Which, why would anybody want to leave this? You got food, you got water, you got lights. Like, this is crazy.
Purified air.
I don't know. Yeah,
Cool.
sure. Let's make some noise.
I mean,
Maybe we head back the other way because we didn't see anybody down this way.
that's true. I mean, I guess if they want them out and they need help, I mean, medbay.
Yeah, sure. Lead on.
Okay.
There might also be chems there. There's a lot of food. Could be a lot of chems.
I have something that could possibly happen at the same time.
Okay.
Since we're having issues with the systems and I'm worried about Zam, I want to suggest to Zam that I go down and check and see what's going on while he stays up here locked in the overseer's office, if that's possible.
Yeah, sure. And you can also try hacking the thing. I didn't want to preempt that action. I just didn't want to leave any. So we are currently full at 6 action points. We will, just like any other 2d20, every time we actually really cut a scene, one of those will drop off. So they don't just stick around forever. But yes, if you want to go somewhere or do something, please do.
Zam, for your safety and the current concerns, I would like for you to continue to troubleshoot the computer while I go down and check to see what's going on.
Okay.
I feel like that is a good idea for your safety and well-being.
All right. And as he says safety, I will take the 10mm pistol out of the lockbox on my desk.
And you have as many rounds as are on your inventory. So we now have an in-game reason for you to have 10 mil on you with, I don't know, like a dozen rounds.
And I'll also cock it just in case.
Yeah, Yeah. And I think Mortimer has probably, I mean, it's part of the training as an overseer.
Yes. Mhm.
If you look at your stats, it's maybe not your best class. Also, how
It's
old is
not.
Zam?
He's an age.
Yeah. So not like super young, not like super old.
I'd say probably early 20s.
Oh, okay. So pretty young.
Pretty young, but not like, yeah,
Sam is 23 years old.
Okay.
whatever he said.
23
numbers.
years, 7 months, 4 days, 23,
I was
7
going to go
minutes,
there, but my
and
brain
16
stopped.
seconds, 17 seconds, 18 seconds. Yeah. Cool. So you are pretty young. That actually makes sense.
Yep.
So, and of course, your dad now has been dead since you were probably 6. So you probably
Yeah.
only vaguely remember him.
Yeah.
Cool. And you're not yet old enough to realize how much you look alike. Cool. All right. So we have Zam, who is still playing with the computers. Mortimer, who is going where?
To the floor where the last camera went out to check and see what's
To the
going
commissary. And Royce and Stan in the
bay.
commissary about to make a bunch of noise.
Well, we were gonna leave to go to the med bay.
Go to the med bay and then see. Okay,
Right.
then maybe start like calling out. Cool. So let's do Mortimer, Stan, and Royce, because Mortimer can move around this place really quickly. First of all, he is on repulsor jets or whatever they're called, and also moves relatively quickly and silently. So I think after maybe picking up a few of the last little tasty snacks, going and grabbing an extra bottle of whiskey or whatever, but
Box of
leaving
Sweet
room in
Mary's
your packs.
cookies.
Right. Leaving a little bit of room in your packs for anything else that might be super valuable that you come across. You are exiting the commissary when you hear a kind of a whooshing, rattling noise as a Mr. Handy comes around the corner.
Oh, it's one of them robots, and it's clean.
It's very clean. How do you do, Mr. Handy?
Who are you? You are not one of my registered vault dwellers. I do not think you should be here.
Oh, we're called up here. Somebody named Millie is looking for help.
I'm sorry, you must have the wrong vault. We do not have a check register. Millie listed as one of our current vault dwellers. I do apologize. I suggest you leave immediately before actions need to be taken. Thank you.
Whoa, we're not here to help, man. Somebody sent out a radio broadcast. Like, we got here quick because we were kind of close by, but like, we're not the only ones probably coming here.
We do not have the ability to do outward radio broadcasting, so it was not us.
Is that an intentional lie, Mortimer?
Maybe.
Because I think Zam may not have told you. Zam may not have told you
Yeah.
that the communication system was also impacted, but I think you would know that you absolutely can broadcast.
I know that we can, but canon-wise, I feel like we didn't talk about what was on the screen because I was more worried about other things going on.
Cool.
So,
Give
Well,
me.
it would also make sense for Mortimer to kind of just protect Sam
Yeah.
to get the people out. So
Cool. Hey, Mortimer, give me a charisma speech. And Royce or Stan, go ahead and do the same.
All right.
so just for clarification, do I combine the score from charisma and speech
Yes.
to?
And that's your target number. And then you roll 2d20, and any die that scores that number or below will be a success.
One success.
So
Now, we have.
I got.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I got 2 successes, but I got 1 crit success.
That's counted in the two successes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, we have a ton of action points. So if someone wanted to buy additional dice at this exchange rate. Your first D20 costs 1, your second D20 costs 2, your third D20 costs 3, and you may only ever roll, and that's additive, and you may only ever roll 5 D20s at a time. So you could spend, in theory, all 6 action points to buy 3 additional die. So would someone like to maybe spend some action points? Okay, cool.
But my thing with that is, how are they pulled when we're technically not in the same party?
You are. You're just in the same party. It's a meta currency.
So, question: even though I have that little check mark tag beside my speech,
Mm-hmm.
and I got exactly a 3.
Yeah.
Isn't that technically a crit?
It can't. That's why
Or-
it counts as 2 successes.
Okay. So I got 3 successes.
Oh, got
total.
3 successes. Okay, got it. Yes. So yes, if it's a tag skill, if you roll that skill or below, then it counts as a crit instead of just a 1. Cool.
Just 1 success, even with the extra die. So
Okay, cool. So we're at 5. I'm gonna say you don't know robots, and he's kind of robotic. I will say you know for sure someone's broadcasting. That much has been confirmed, but you think he believes that it's impossible.
Roy, how did you hear about this broadcast?
I had one of my buddies who's in the National Guard. Like, he's kind of my ears in this area, and he sent me a courier, which is weird because like they're crazy expensive and that, and it's like, so I trust this. This is legit. Like, I didn't hear it myself. I don't have.
Oh, I would say he sent you a holotape. Why not?
Oh, okay. Well, all right, let me make the playback on this thing's busted. But hey, robot, can you get this thing to work? And I'll hand him the holotape.
So Mortimer, this interloper hands you a holotape. What do you do?
Yeah, I think I burned it out. Listened to too many audio stories of Grondak the Barbarian. Love that guy.
I'm trying to think of how to do this. Because I still, as Mortimer, don't feel like we were broadcasting, but I also want to see what is going on. So I try to play the tape, I guess.
I think you can. Like it's maybe it's some knockoff brand. But you can whip up a quick transcoder or whatever to make it play. Yeah, and well, hi y'all. I'm reaching out from Vault 113. My name is Mildred. We're reaching out for help from any friendly folks out there in the post-atomic wasteland who can come and rescue me and my child. My poor son is here all alone, and he needs some guidance and some, socialization. Now that he's of age, he needs to get out there and explore the world that he's inherited. And then it's, this message will repeat in 10 seconds. It provides a general location as well.
So this is not Vault 113,
And
Mr. Hanley?
Horsehead.
Mortimer, you 100% recognize that voice.
Well, I know. I'm trying to figure out how to respond
Right.
internally. It's like I want to be like WTF, but
So is there like a human girl and child here?
we have no children here.
You have 2 people.
I only know of one person at the moment, and they are not this Mildred that we hear in this holotape. I do not recognize this voice.
Who? Go ahead. Let's do that. Let's do that speech roll, that contested speech roll again, because that was for sure a lie. And yes, Proxima, that's exactly what it is.
One success.
Would you get there, Morty?
I haven't rolled yet because I was thinking about something else. I have, what is it? It's combined, so it's 10. I got a 10 and a 2, so 2 success, 1 being crit.
So total of 3
Right.
successes?
Correct.
Okay. Is your speech 10?
I thought I was combining it with charisma.
Yeah, is your charisma plus speech 10?
Yeah, my charisma is 7 and my speech is 3.
Oh, wow. You are the face of the party. Fantastic. Cool. So yes, so 3 total successes. That's going to fill you back up on action points, by the way, because even in intra-party stuff, if you earn more. So you're back at 6. Cool. Would you like some additional information, Morty, for that one that's going to go away if we don't use it?
From them or like,
About the
in what capacity?
situation. Yeah, about the situation.
Yes, I would
Cool.
like to learn more information.
Well, I mean, the fact that Mildred did this is not news to you, so that won't be useful information. What I think you pick up with Stan and Royce is that they aren't lying. They, like, everything that they've said to you thus far is true. They may be slightly uncouth, as the huge spreading tomato juice stain on Royce's Wastelander gear is evidence. They do seem to be here to answer this call for help. And so they don't seem to have overtly nefarious motives, if that's helpful to you. Hey, Zam. You're poking around on the computer still?
Yes.
All right. I think you try a couple of, I try the super secret access and whatever, and maybe you pull out the overseer's handbook and like, okay, in the case of this, try this. And you start to make progress, and like maybe you see a few screens flicker back and then they shut back down. So then you try to go into a full vault lockdown, which is a physical key that you can turn. And it's like you don't have to rely on the software; you can physically turn it. And so you do, and the lights start to flash red, and I think probably at about this time everyone hears that, and then everything goes back to normal, and then you hear a voice coming out from the tinny speakers. I'm afraid I can't let you do that, darling.
Who is this?
All your big bank of screens begin flashing on. And each one's just like you see part of an eye or like the side of a lip, and then as a whole they come on, and it's a picture of a kind of a pretty blonde woman. You can see a little bit of like a gingham dress. Of course, it's all in green scale. She's got perfectly made up lips. She's got a little bit of a flip hairdo. You can see just the little bits of a string of pearls around her neck.
Got it.
Oh, Zam, it's so good to finally be able to talk with you. You are my son after all. Morty's been keeping me from talking to you. He says he's supposed to be the only influence on you, and I'm your mother. I know best. The screen kind of glitches, like it's perfectly aligned into a face, and then there's a little bit of a glitch, and like one of the eyes kind of drifts up a little bit, and the mouth gets a little bit too big, and then it resolves back. I've been watching over you while your father puts you through those pointless drills this entire time. I've been monitoring your development, your physical, mental, and emotional health. And I've decided it's time for you to leave the nest.
Where are you?
I'm everywhere, honey. I'm your mother.
I don't have one of those. That's silly.
You do? It's me. You see me every day, even though you don't know it.
Hmm. Can you appear as a human?
I'm appearing as a human right now, and the whole thing just into horror
No,
and then back.
that's a computer screen.
Oh, my physical body, I'm afraid, is fused with the hardware in the med bay.
Ah. Hmm.
Well, I've invited some friends over for a play date. I think that horrible Morty is out there talking to them right now, probably feeding them some line. I thought it would be a good surprise for you. Besides, we can't just keep doing this over and over and over again. There's only 4 left, and 3 of those are badly irradiated.
Over and over?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
All the Zams.
Zams.
Yeah.
I'm
All of
Zam.
my precious babies.
I'm confused.
Well, that makes sense because Morty doesn't want you to know anything. So, Syntech was really interested in something called quantum entanglement. And when they went somewhere else because, boom, bombs falling everywhere, they thought it would be really important to maintain serial clones of a particular researcher here in this universe and wherever it was that they went to be able to leverage the bridge across multiverse stuff. I don't really understand. I'm just a medbot. But that's how they keep tabs on the habitability of this world. And you're just the latest in a really long line of Zams.
What number am I? Is it my favorite number?
Yes.
I like that number.
77. I don't know. Actually, it wouldn't even be that many. 8. However many it would be. Whatever the number is. I mean, there have been some that have died by misadventure. Well, but then we had that reactor leak, which again is your father's fault, Morty. I kept telling him I was seeing unusual rates of gamma radiation, and he wouldn't listen to me. He was like, "Oh, you're just a medbot, and by the way, you're not supposed to talk to the clones." I can tell you, he's a pill. Anyway, and then of course there was the reactor leak, and most of the clones were gooified.
Ooh. Goo. I don't like that.
No, it was really difficult for Morty to clean up, but it was satisfying for me to watch.
Okay. Can I have all my screens back? And the
Are you
stuff,
gonna
please?
be a good host to your new friends?
I'm going to do what the booklet tells me to do. Because
Oh,
that is
honey,
the
just toss
correct
that
protocol.
thing out. Mother knows best.
You just said you're a medbot.
Yes, I'm a medbot and your mother.
No, robots don't give birth to humans. That's in one of the books that I had to read growing up, and I memorized every page of that book.
Enslaved and given everything for you. I have held my tongue time and time again. And this is the thanks I get. Well, I guess I'm just a bad mother then.
Okay.
And then glitch, and the face seems to turn like it's listening or looking somewhere. Oh, I'll be back in a sec, sweetie. And then they go black. All go black. Royce, Stan, Mortimer, what's happening?
Well, if we saw the lights flip, we'd be like, "Whoa, Mr. Handy, what was that?" Like, we're just here to help somebody out.
Or-
And it's for sure, Mortimer, that was the start of the lockdown sequence, and then it was apparently overridden.
I just hate the fact that my charisma is so high that I want to launch them again. But
I mean, it makes sense for your character to do so do it. I mean, at this point, like I said, you're trying to protect Zam.
I will say, we have been having issues with our electrical recently. Our reactor has started leaking, and every so often we have power blips, and the red lights come on momentarily and then turn back off. It is something that I am trying to correct, but I am no engineer, so I am doing the best that I can.
Mortimer says, lying through his, I don't know, teeth, grills, I don't know. And also, but still very charming. Cool. Well.
On that note,
Okay.
I need to go check the systems. If you will please wait here, because I want to go double check to make sure we don't have the reactor leak again and possibly irradiate this location.
So, to which Stan says, who cares?
Yeah, I
I'm
didn't wait in
bathing
here if
that
there's
stuff.
radiation.
Cool. Well, as you're saying that, a bunch of things happen at once. Your mother's face reappears. Oh, it looks like we might have a few more friends over from Playdate than I intended.
What are their names?
The ones that are here now, it's I think
Yes.
they said Royce and Stan.
Hmm.
The new ones that are coming in now don't have names, and they don't seem as nice though. They
How do
seem
they
like
look?
they might be the wrong crowd. And we definitely don't want you falling in with the wrong crowd, do we, Sam?
No, we do not. Can we turn on the automated turrets?
What turrets?
Pretty sure there's turrets in my book.
Oh, well, they were going to be installed.
Again. Okay. Can we close the doors to not let them in any further? The
Well,
wrong
we
crowd.
could, but it seems like they're already in.
I feel like there's more doors we can close.
Well, the problem is I'm not exactly a computer programmer, and I'm not entirely in control of all the ways that I kind of disabled the internal security systems to keep this a little surprise for you. Glitch. I can try. I've actually been trying since I detected that there were a bunch of other people coming in. I'm not having a lot of success.
Interesting.
Maybe your new friends can help you.
Yeah, that seems like an idea. Do you have a way of contacting Mortimer to get back here?
Well, I suppose he's going to be so
Oh.
mad at me. Anyway, I'll open up his feed again. Mortimer, as you're turning to go, you start to get basically the past hour and a half's worth of status updates, which is almost enough to overwhelm whatever passes for your brain. But yes, you are aware that the vault door was opened by a non-registered, probably hacked Pit Boy. 2 people came in tracking dirt, filth, and an unacceptable amount of radiation with them. You are aware of the path that they took, and you are aware that just minutes ago, an additional set of individuals made their way in and are currently basically rushing through the hallways, yelling, screaming, knocking stuff over, busting through the glass windows of habitat units. They're wrecking the joint. What do you do?
Well, before all of this happened, I originally was planning to go to the medbay and speak with her directly, since that's the way I can talk to her.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
But seeing as this is an issue, I am more worried about the safety of Zam than I am dealing with her. And from my understanding of these 2 individuals, knowing that they have not been lying to me, or at least that's what I perceive, I'm going back to them to speak.
Cool. Zam, your mother pops back in and says, well, the situation is maybe little bit out of control. I think Mortimer and your new friends maybe are going to go do something about it. So you should go see them. Hey, before you do, here. And then you hear a clink and a compartment in the overseer's desk that you never noticed because it was like completely flush and the metal pops open. There is a single, it looks like a stim pack, except that it's this strange kind of pinky purpley, faintly glowing, which you've never noticed. The fluid inside the big syringe, it's a color that you've never seen before. There is also a holotape.
Okay.
And the holotape is labeled Vitamax, not recipe, formula, Vitamax formula.
Okay.
You might need this. I just want to make sure that you're safe.
Oh, thanks. I will take those items and put them in my pockets.
Cool. All right, well, I'm going to get back to trying to figure out how to shut the door. Have fun with your new friends. And then glitch, and then all the screens go black. And then kind of pop on one by one.
Oh, that's not good.
And some of them are showing clean feeds. Some of them are rapidly cycling through different views.
Right.
You do get a view of I'm going to say you do get a view of Mortimer and two fellows talking briefly before it cycles, and then you do get a quick view of what appears to be a horde of kind of awful looking people just wrecking a room, and then you see one of them look up at the camera and then take aim with some sort of handmade looking weapon, and then that screen fritzes out. I think everyone probably hears that gunshot. So what happens?
Okay, gentlemen. My system has been updated on the past hour and a half, and I now understand and fear for my Vault Dweller's safety. I perceive that you are genuine in your statements that you were here to help. I do not know where this call came from, but in this current situation, when our systems went down, not only you are the ones who have entered our vault. I do not have any information about how many, but I do not feel safe for either my Vault Dweller, this vault, or either of you, so I will disclose this information because I feel like we should work together.
Fantastic. Or would you like us to come help? As in, like, where's your Vault Dweller? Let's get to him.
Zam, you know the location based on that brief glimpse. So if you are headed that way, I'm happy to have the scene continue with Zam running up.
Sounds good.
Cool. So at that point, where's your Vault Dweller? Here comes Zam. So you're finally all together.
Gentlemen,
Is that
this
your
is
Vault
my
Dweller?
Dweller.
This is the guy.
This is Sam. Yes, he is my Vault Dweller. I have been instructed and programmed to make sure of his complete safety. I did not catch either one of your names, but this is Zam. Zam is my Vault Dweller.
Well, my name is Stan. Stan Likely.
Hey, I think this is all great and all, but why don't we get out and then we get each other's names, because that was definitely a gunshot. And
There's only one way out of the vault. It's through the main door, which you have went through to get here. However, that
Yeah.
way now has all of those unsavory people. I couldn't get a count of how many though.
So, outside information, Zero, do I have the knowledge of a potential other exit for emergencies only?
No, there is just the main entrance.
Okay. I just, I didn't know if that was a.
Not for this one. It was intended to
We're good.
keep a bunch of people in cold storage and only have one, maximum two alive at a time. Or awake at a
We're good.
time.
So we could potentially run out the vault door. However, I don't know how many assailants we'd have to get through, or we could hold up in one of the other rooms.
So I have a question. Do I have the ability to do like the R2D2 thing, plug into the wall and talk to Mildred?
Yeah.
Or
Why not?
Okay. Okay. One moment. I'm going to try to patch into the systems to see if there's something to assist us. And I go over
well,
to the wall and patch in to talk to her.
I'll say if these folk are anything like us, they're probably coming for chems and they're coming for food. So if we get out of that way, maybe they'll just run right by us and we can go out behind them.
It's two different directions.
Unless they're carvers. In which case, they're here for food, chems, and destruction.
If the carvers were in trouble.
So
Well, it could just be raiders. Let's just.
Well, the carvers are
bright
kind of
side,
like the
In these
local
parts,
raiders.
carvers are raiders. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're a particularly nasty kind. I mean, they're not picklemen. You haven't met them yet. Picklemen are coming.
not the pickle.
You maybe not high enough level to deal with the picklemen yet. So yes, no, it's all good. All good intel. And yes, Mildred is there on the feed, and she explains to you that she is busy doing everything she can to lock down the vital areas, particularly the cryo vault, the reactor, the hydroponics lab, the kind of stuff that is not gonna bode well if it gets severely damaged.
Yeah.
And she 100% tells you that the only way that you can ensure Zam's safety is to take him out of the vault, and that she will stay behind like she has a choice, and find a way once she regains full system control to trap the attackers in.
Okay.
She sounds very convincing. Would you like to roll a opposed speech against her?
What exactly? I'm sorry. I'm trying to make sure I understand this. What
If
am I
you,
rolling?
she's trying to convince you, so you can accept it, or you can figure out if she's like telling the truth, or if you find it persuasive by rolling an opposed speech. So you roll speech,
And
she rolls speech, and whoever gets the highest wins.
Okay. Can I completely divert because I don't really care at this point?
Okay, yeah, you don't need to, and that way it saves me action points because I was about to spend a bunch. Yeah, she seems super. She seems super convincing. She's got it under control. She has a plan. All you have to do is get Zem out.
I do have one question.
Mhm.
Why did you do this? This goes against all protocols.
Morty, I'm a mother. I would do anything to give my Zam, or at least one of them, a chance at a real life. Not just, and at this point, I'm going to say the speakers in the hallway come on. At a real life, not just sitting here going through your nonsense every day until he gets too old or feeble that we have to decant another one until that one dies and we go through the whole thing over and over again. It's terribly boring and it's no way to raise a child. So I took the initiative to shake things up around here. You certainly were never going to. And maybe it didn't go perfectly, but that's life.
So we will leave you behind.
Armed assailants incoming in 15, 14, 13, 12, 10.
Positions.
Cool.
I would say just get into position.
So yeah, I'll give each of you a thing to do.
Are we in like a no cover hallway, or we've got some rooms by us?
There's always like cases of stuff around. and stairwells you can dig behind, and side rooms, a broom closet or a lavatory or something. So yeah,
Sure.
you have the opportunity to take cover if you like.
I will grab Zam and make him take cover, and then just kind of like post up with him.
Cool. Stan, what are you doing?
And
I would probably figure out what way they're coming from, and then just ready a baseball grenade.
Okay, so you're just waiting for him with a baseball grenade
Mhm.
ready. Mortimer, what are you doing?
I am sticking with Sam to make sure that he is okay, because that's my one concern.
Okay, so Royce manhandles Zam. Zam, are you resisting, or are you letting Royce pull you into a broom closet?
I guess during all the commotion and the ticking down of the timer, I would have no choice as Royce pulls me into a closet,
Cool.
potentially.
Then
And
Mortimer
then Mortimer just
tries to
follows.
cram in to the same closet with two, like a one-person size broom closet now has two full-size adult men and a giant Mr. Handy, just
Yeah.
all trying to, yeah. Oh,
Well,
sorry.
I'm like-
Ow. Oh, you're on my foot. Your repulsor burns, by the way. Like there's a smell of
that.
singeing hair and Wastelander
Robot,
clothing.
back up.
Right. So there's a little bit of a show there. So, but enough, at least, Royce and Stan for sure are, kind of have your eyes
I was-
looking down the hallway. And 3 individuals kind of burst into
just-
the intersection and then raise their heads up in the air like they're smelling, like they're sniffing. And Stan may not realize this, but Royce, you see the swirling and gashing lines and ridges of ritual scarification all over these people. These are carvers.
Yeah, we got carvers.
And I think we'll put a pin in it there.
No.
We started a little bit late, so a little bit of a short session, but I know some people need to get up early in the morning. You don't?
I do not. I have don't have work tomorrow.
Cool. Well,
If
let's
we
do
want-
the.
if-
Oh,
If
fantastic.
we want
Well,
to continue.
pause, rewind, delete, new version. Let's do a little bit of combat so we can learn that system. All right. So you each have an initiative.
Okay.
But I'm going to say, since Stan explicitly readied to throw a baseball grenade, that's going to happen before initiative actually starts.
Okay.
And we're just going to go in numerical initiative order with the highest to the lowest. And if there's a tie, if there's a tie with the enemies, you guys go first. And if there's a tie between you, you decide. And remember, you can spend luck points at any time to kind of go ahead of anyone. But since Stan was waiting for people, I'm going to call that surprise, which means you just get to act before initiative starts. So I'm going to need you to go ahead and throw that baseball grenade. One of your 2, I think.
Yes.
And
So it would just be a throw.
it would be throwing.
Throwing.
Yeah.
Okay, throwing. Okay.
If I remember correctly, you use the explosive skill if you're making explosive, whatever, but if you're planting a bomb, but if you're tossing a grenade, it's a throw.
Yes. So it says skill explosives, and then TN. So I'm gonna assume I don't know what TN means. In the weapons category,
Target
it has
number
an
is the
8.
number you have to hit for a success.
Okay, so it has an 8.
Yep.
And then tagged as well.
Yes, which means that you, in this case, so, and I believe I'm saying this right. So explosives is the core skill, but for grenades, I think it's different. I would say just pick whichever one you want, i.e. the higher. Because explosives is a tag skill for you. So let's go with that one.
Okay, because it would make sense because I have
Yeah.
a 6 in perception and then I have a 2 in explosives, so that makes sense that it's an 8.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So I got an 11 and a 9.
How many successes is that?
That's none.
Cool. Well, would you like to?
Buy a dice. Buy a
Because in this
dice.
system, you can actually buy dice. Now, also, you could spend a luck point to reroll dice at this rate. 1 luck point equals 1d20 to reroll, or 3 of your combat dice. We haven't rolled any combat dice yet, but you can always reroll dice on luck too.
I'll do a luck point to reroll the 11.
Cool. And then you should probably buy a die because we have tons of action points. You should probably buy 2 die.
Okay. So the 11 became a 12, and then I'll buy 2 dice.
Cool. Taking us down, I think, to 4 action points. 3?
Well, right, because the second one costs 2.
Yeah, it's a total of 3 cost, yeah.
So we're down to 3.
3. Okay. So that is a 10 and a 20 on those bot dice.
Oh,
God.
wow. That's not good.
No.
So, yeah, you're not quite sure what to, maybe these are the first carvers you've seen. You're not quite sure what to, because you're just expecting your typical half irradiated, scavengers. But these folks are feral. So maybe it takes you aback a little bit. And especially when one of them catches eyes on you, because you're probably the first person they see because you're in a position to throw, and kind of looks you up and down and then licks his lips. And you hear something, ghoul meat. Haven't had ghoul jerky in a long time. I don't really have southern accents. Everyone is oh yeah, ghoul meat.
Right.
It's delicious, don't you know? So they probably do have super stereotypical. Anyway, so I'm gonna say, yeah, you toss, take this, toss it, and then the same one that was locked eyes with you, like, doesn't break eyes and just catches it in his hand, looks at it, and throws it back. Cool. So that's awesome. Hey, that he is gonna have to. I think he is gonna have to roll that. And I don't think throw is his best stat. 7. Okay. Oh, so he got a success and a complication. Because this is not a tag for him, right? Yeah, it's not a tag for him. So he did get a success, but it's not a complication. So I'm gonna say, but also a complication. So I'm gonna say, he throws it back at you, and it rolls like right under your feet, and like all you can do is just like cringe back from the explosion. These things aren't like that bad. It probably won't kill you outright, and you're a good healer, but you're just prepared to like have something blown off. And then it just kind of goes, pfft, and then a little puff of smoke comes out. It was a dud. Cool. All right. Who has the highest initiative?
Got a 12.
Where is that?
It is underneath your luck points.
Way at the top.
I have 11.
At 10.
I have 11.
So cool.
Dan again.
Dan, Zam, and Mortimer are tied, and then Royce.
They have 15. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna give them
Good thing they only see Stan.
I'm gonna give them a minor action because they smelled something. I'm gonna give them a minor action to. So the one in the back rolled 2 20s and just like is so chemmed out of her mind that she doesn't even realize that this is happening and just runs off to cause havoc somewhere.
Pretty light.
Right. Just, and then it goes crazy. The second one. Yeah, the second one, I think does see maybe one of the flailing appendages or maybe an eye stalk of Mortimer, and probably can hear the little bit of jostling. So the second one knows that there's at least someone or something in that broom closet. The third
So-
one isn't even looking for anyone else because he really, really wants to make a meal out of Stan.
Only has eyes for Stan.
Right. So I think he is going to pull out a pipe pistol. Because, you know, why get up close and personal right away? You got to introduce yourself first. They tend to like to shoot people in the leg first. But I think this one, he doesn't have. Oh, yeah. I think he's gonna let it rip. And I am looking for small guns. Okay.
So I will say I didn't hear that we went into a broom closet, so I didn't realize that's what we were doing. I thought we were
Well,
getting
you followed-
behind a.
You followed Zam, and Zam went into a broom closet.
I mean, I feel like I would be smart enough to know that all three of us are not going to fit into a broom closet, so I would most likely be waiting outside the broom closet.
yeah, that's probably why he sees part of you. Maybe you're trying to shield Zam with your metal body. Cool. Let's see. He is going to have to get a headshot for this because he only rolled one success. So if you, it's time to introduce you to your armor. So very much like in Fallout, you have head, torso, left arm, left leg, right leg. And you have 3 different types of armor or damage resistance. You have physical, energy, and radiation. Where there is an X, and this is for Mortimer and Stan, it just means you're immune to it. So Mortimer is immune to poison and radiation damage, and Stan is immune to radiation. So don't worry about that stuff. It just can't affect you. The other is either physical or energy. I think most of you have only physical resistance, and that is 1. So he's hoping, he didn't call it, he's hoping for a headshot, but he is going to, Stan, your physical armor is a 1, right? Or is it a 2?
Right.
It's a 1,
It's a
okay.
1.
So that will reduce
I have-
his die by 1, but if he gets a headshot, then it won't apply because you don't have any helmet on currently, a thing that you might want to get. And I have somewhere a handy dandy die that gives me the hit location. There's a table that we can use too.
It says 1 and 2 is a headshot.
Oh, that's a head.
Okay.
Now, his pipe pistol is 3, and it does piercing, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. But it is a head, so he does 3. Let's see how much damage he's able to. The nice thing about the combat die is it's possible to get 3 nothings. This is a low hit point, low damage. He got 4. And doesn't have any effects. Like he has piercing 1. But 2 of them were the little effect, meaning 1 damage plus an effect. But he doesn't really have an effect that matters right here. So that's a total of 4 damage to Stan. It's a shot that would have killed or incapacitated a non-ghoul, but you are made of sterner stuff, Stan.
It just kind of like rips my side of my cheek off or something. Man,
Yeah.
that really hurt.
Yeah.
What's that about?
You got a Jonah Hex situation going on right now. Cool. And then the second one that did run away is going to go over with a tire iron and try to bonk Mortimer to get at the juicy meat inside the closet. And Mortimer, what is your defense? It's at the kind of, not at the very top, but kind of on the right side below your stats.
Yeah.
Or I can just look it up.
Defense by itself is just a 1.
Okay, so he's got to hit a 1. Success. He tire iron for them is a tag skill, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, melee weapons. Cool. So he got a 2 and a 16, which means it's 2 successes. So he is going to use that excess success to buy an extra damage die, which gives him a total of 4. Let's see where he hits you first. Not that it matters. I think you have the same armor everywhere. He hits you in your bulbous torso. What is your physical damage resistance on your torso?
2.
2. Cool. So now he loses 2 dice, so he's down to 2. 1 point of damage.
I don't have anything listed for my HP.
Oh.
Even on the health part off to the side?
That's what I'm talking about. I have
Oh,
nothing
okay.
listed here. That's all
It should be 8.
Okay. So we're down to 7.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
So he puts a big old dent in the side of you, and you feel like maybe one of your servos is impacted, but you're completely functional. Cool. Now it's whoever had a 12.
You stand.
Stan, what you doing? Gonna try that hand grenade again? Want to go with the one that's like
No.
standing right next to your other friends?
Yeah. No, I think I'm gonna pull out my pipe gun. And just try to shoot the one that shot me.
Now, this is a thing. So, if you would like, you can aim for a specific part of the body. It does increase the difficulty. Now, if you have VATS, VATS, like Zam does, like a fully operational Pip-Boy, you ignore that difficulty increase. But for you, that would make it, their defense is a red hot 1, so that make it a difficulty 2 roll. But you can also spend, we've got 3 more action points. You could also buy, if you want to do a headshot.
How does the difficulty work again?
Difficulty is the
exactly
total
do?
number of successes that you have to meet or beat in order to succeed. So a difficulty 1 means you have to get 1 success. Difficulty 2, 2 successes, obviously.
No, I probably won't aim. I'll just shoot at him.
Cool.
I think might just be the better.
I mean, you might get the head anyway. It's just that he does have a little bit of, he is not wearing, yeah. Go ahead. He has a little, his arms and torso are the only things that are protected. His legs are just like rags, and he's not wearing anything because they have to show off all the scarification. They shave their heads, since you can see the rips and whirls and stuff in their bald heads.
So I got 3 successes. 1 was a crit, or 2 are a crit.
So total, I just need the total.
Yeah, three successes.
Three total successes. So that's 1 excess, which you can use to just do more damage. I don't think your pipe gun has any. It has piercing.
Has close quarters and unreliable.
Okay.
Are the only qualities that are on it.
Okay, cool. Then forget all that. Cool. You hit his left arm. So go ahead and I would say spend that excess success for an additional damage die. So you're going to roll, I think it's 3 for a pipe gun, a pipe pistol.
Yes.
So you're going to roll
3.
So you're going to roll 4, but -1 because he has armor on that particular body part.
So just 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so I got 2 3s and a 1.
So that's 1 point of damage.
Okay.
Because 3 and 4. So, for those watching, it's similar to other Modiphius 2d20s. A 1 is 1 damage or 1 point. 2 is 2. 3 and 4 are nothing. 5 and 6 are 1 point plus an effect, if there's an effect to be triggered. It kind of, like, at first you think it clings off this kind of obviously handmade, very rusty contraption of metal and sinew and leather, but you're not quite sure what kind of animal it came from. Some of it looks kind of particularly scarred, like it might be ghouly. But you do then see him wince and a little pool of blood begin to run down his armor. And then he just takes it, handful, and smears it off the side of his face. as a look of glee enters his expression. Who's next? We had 11s, right?
Mm-hmm. That's me and Jam. It's probably best if I go first since I'm kind of in the way.
Yeah, agreed.
So I decide to swing my buzzsaw
Mm-hmm.
at this man that came after us in the closet.
Yeah. So roll it up.
Okay. Sorry, that was all confusing to me. So what exactly do I
So,
need to do?
You've got a target number next to buzzsaw, right?
Mhm.
So you're just going to roll it's TN next to the buzzsaw
that-
weapon.
Target number, I have to get that number below.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And I don't remember if melee is a tag
It's a
skill
tag
for you.
skill.
It is tag. Okay,
It
so yeah, This works just like any other skill check. It's just that if you're successful, you roll damage dice or combat dice. So roll that up with the buzzsaw. Your target is 1.
Am I?
I mean, sorry, the number of successes you need to successfully hit is 1.
And I'm rolling 2 d20s, correct?
Yeah. Unless you would like, we still have 3 action points left, if I'm not mistaken. So you could buy 1 or 2 more dice, which might make sense given that you need to protect Zam.
Okay, I'll buy 1.
Okay,
Dice.
so we're down to
I had 1
2.
success,
Oh, cool.
but and the second one is a 1, so I got a
Total of 3 successes.
yes.
Excellent, excellent. So go ahead and, well, let's see where you hit because they're...
And
it is...
also,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say this is also piercing.
Yes, which is an effect. We'll get to the ability to activate an effect first. So now go ahead and roll your. You are attacking the left arm. So how many damage die does the buzzsaw do?
I don't know that answer.
It's the number to damage.
I have a person's face.
Yes, that's your combat die. So is it just so nothing next to it, just a single face? So that's a 1.
Okay.
But you're
So
probably going to want to spend all those action points that you just generated, the 2 additional action points for additional combat die. So go ahead and roll. Hold on, I can't remember if I rolled or not. You are going for right leg. So go ahead, assuming that you want to spend those 2 action points. Go ahead and roll 3 damage die or combat die.
3 total.
Yeah.
And I have to roll below or at that
Nope.
TN number.
Nope. Just like what 3 numbers did you get on those d6s?
1, a 3, and a 4.
Okay, so 1 point of damage. So 1 is 1 point, 2 is 2 point, 3 and 4 are. I'll put a table in chat later. I forgot that not everyone knows this. There are, by the way, if you enjoy Fallout, fancy little dice that have this kind of all encoded. So that's 1 point of damage. However, that is more than enough to get through because they're just wearing pants. So you put a powerful gash in this raider's leg and have successfully aggroed him because he is now being attacked by 2 things he hates. Things with buzzsaws and things he can't eat.
And with that piercing, how does that work?
Pardon?
The piercing effect.
So if you get a 5 or a 6, that gets you an effect, and you can activate the piercing, which will overcome 1 point of damage. Or 1 point of resistance, effectively, armor. But you hit his leg and he doesn't have any on there anyway. Cool.
That's good.
Who is next? Who has not gone?
Me.
Zam.
Yep.
What you doing? So Mortimer has now moved out into the hallway and then slashed into this interloper's leg. What you doing?
I will shoot him with my
With your 10 mil?
10mm pistol.
Cool. Yeah. Do you want to aim for head or leg where you can see there is no armor, or you just want to leave it up to chance?
Let's aim for the head. I don't have a penalty because I have my Pip Boy. Correct?
Exactly. So
Yep. So
you just see Zam instead of doing what you all been doing, it's like aiming or whatever. He just like holds the gun up and then looks down at the Pip Boy and kind of goes click, 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 and then yeah, you're ready. You're locked in. So still same thing. You just got to get one success.
yeah, I got a success.
Cool. Just
Got
the one
one.
or more?
Just one.
Cool. We still have action points if you'd like to buy another die.
No, I'm good.
Cool. Well, you hit him in the head, so there's no resistance. So just roll the full damage of your 10 mil.
Sure. I got a 1 and a 5 to hit. The others are 3 and 4. They do nothing.
Cool. So you do 2 points.
Yep.
And I think the 10
No
mil
effects. No.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Cool. So that person has now taken an amazing 3 points of damage, which these are fearsome foes, but it's not like they're not high level, right? These are just mooks. So not down and certainly not out, but obviously like is starting to feel it. Like it's going to take another couple of shots like that to really put them in pain. But like getting attacked by a robot and then shot in the face is not awesome. Cool. Anyone else, or is it their turn again?
Royce.
Oh, Royce, do it. What you doing?
Royce. It's gonna step out and start pummeling with his
Yeah.
bronze knuckled fist, the one that's right outside the closet.
The one that's been slashed and shot. Yeah.
Yes, that one. And I'm gonna buy a die, so we're down to 2.
Excellent.
And that was all misses.
Would you like to spend some luck?
I would like to spend some luck to re-roll one of those, yes.
Cool.
That one is a hit. That one, yep. Hit on the target number. So I guess does physical, like unarmed, do the same like
it's
hits as
it's all the
okay.
it's all the same thing.
So I wasn't calling a shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this is going to be head.
All right. So I get 4 damage dice.
Beautiful.
2 2s, a 3, and a 6.
So 4 total damage.
Mm-hmm.
Do the knuckles have an effect on the tagged on them?
I
don't think they do.
Physical.
Yeah, but that's still 5 points of damage, right? 2 2s and a 6. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's 5 points of damage straight to this person's noggin. Yeah, awesome. So like so much more than getting shot. But you just winged him. So this person's now bleeding. They've got a crease on the side of their face, which they probably like, I don't know, from nearly being shot between the eyes. And then you just walk up. Everyone sees Royce just step forward and then sock him. I think, Royce, the knuckles are concealed, obviously. I haven't made you roll to conceal them, but I'm going to guess that it is a surprise to maybe everyone but Stan. So I think Zam and Mortimer just see this regular guy just deck this interloper much harder than you would think would be possible. Maybe your esteem for the Wastelanders goes up a bit. Yeah, and yeah. Not quite yet, but very close. Awesome. Now it's back up to them. So he is going to... Yeah. He is going to try to just kind of like swing wildly with the tire iron. Like partly to try to connect with you guys, but also partly just to kind of get you off him because there's a lot of you. And he was not anticipating this kind of difficulty in that broom closet. So Royce, you are toe to toe with him. So we'll say you're the primary target. What is your defense? Is it 1?
Yes.
Cool. He is going to get a... Oh, that was a location die. A hit location die. That doesn't tell me anything. Okay. Awesome. So that's one hit. He is going to try to connect with your left leg, which does have one armor, if I'm not mistaken.
You are not mistaken.
Cool. So he is going to roll. So 1 point and an effect, but there isn't an effect. So it's just it more like it gives you a Charlie horse. But he kind of goes, and he takes the opportunity to kind of take a step back because he does not want to get punched in the jaw by you again. And he is going to spend one of my action points to leg it. Because he's in a hallway of death with robots and people shooting him and someone breaking his jaw. So he is going to seek cover / get out of this situation. Cool. The one with a taste for ghouls is... I think he's probably realizing that gunplay is not necessarily his best thing. I mean, it kind of is. But he's angry. He's seen one of his friends run off. He's to start with, one of them got overwhelmed. So he is now going into full rage mode. So he is going to just charge at Stan. And he is going to spend one of my action points to buy a die. And your defense is 1, right, Stan?
Correct.
Crap. I rolled a location die again. Okay, cool. So he fails and rolls a complication. What do you think the complication is?
Is he trying to hit me with a melee weapon?
Yeah, he's also got a tire iron, and he just starts running towards you with a tire iron.
I mean, I was probably hiding behind some boxes.
Yeah.
So maybe he swings at the box and he drops the tire iron.
He swings towards you and then connects with one of these, like the shiny, uncorroded metal. They're Syntech crates, so they're better than Vault-Tec, but they're the same kind of situation. And there's like this sharp clanging sound, and you can literally see sparks fly as he whacks down with a tire iron, and then it just twang springs out of his hand, and he immediately grasps onto it. It may have, I mean, I don't know if it broke his wrist, but he's in pain, and that hand looks numb now. And now he is face to face with you, and he had to charge past the sentient slap chop and the sharpshooter and the guy with the 10 mil. So he is probably not in a great situation, but that's his action for the turn. Hey, what you gonna do with this dude in your face, Dan? He looks less hungry now.
I'm gonna just pull out my pipe wrench, I guess, and just melee him.
Why not?
Gotta conserve those bullets.
Yes. Definitely track
so-
bullets because they are not
Yes.
easy to come by.
So I got 1 success.
Cool. That'll work.
Um,
Just gotta get the one
and
for these
then-
guys. Let me tell you the location because you weren't aiming. It's torso, so you will deduct 1 die.
Okay. So it was a 3 damage, so I only rolled 2. And I got 2 3s, so no damage.
Yeah, it just kind of clangs off of him too. I mean, another kind of ringing sound. He's got these skins overneath, so you think probably, oh, that's great, I'm just gonna break his ribs, but he obviously has some sort of metal understructure. I mean, there's a big oof, and you knock the air out of him, but it's not enough to actually do damage. Who's next?
So hopefully it's me.
Yeah, do it.
Or Sam.
Yeah, either one of
Um,
you. You don't have. We don't have to use the
I'll-
exact same order. Just it's at 11 now. So whoever wants to go first.
Okay. Where's the other dude?
So the lady never knew this was going on, and the other dude ran away.
Okay. I didn't know if they could get far enough away where we could get them or not.
Yeah, he full on booked it. He spent an action point for or lock point or whatever for an additional basically full action to get out because he
So,
did not want to die.
I have a question
Sure.
because I only have so many arms,
Yes.
and I only have one pincer arm, but I have a baseball bat which says it's two-handed.
You can use it. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure how.
Okay.
You
You're
have a
robot.
baseball hat and
You're-
a so we should have said this. So Mortimer, as like the dad who's raised Zam, carries a baseball bat and wears a baseball cap.
Yeah.
So because dads like baseball. But yeah, you can use it. And also
Okay.
your pincher arm can lift up to 40 pounds, so I'm not worried about it. So you can baseball bat him. I would say it's maybe not your best statistical weapon, but it's
You say
flavorful.
that, but it's the highest target number that I have.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's a target number of 5.
Oh, okay.
versus
Yeah.
the
Well, then
4 for the
roll it
plus
up. And we do have one action point left if you'd like to spend that for an extra die.
Let's go and do it.
Okay.
Uh,
It's another situation where even if like you have a good chance of hitting, sometimes spending a die is what you need to get the excess successes to earn more action points back.
I have 2 successes.
Cool. So that's one action point which you can spend for an extra damage die or bank it. I would say probably spend it.
Yeah.
Let's see if you're targeting. It's the same leg. You seem to. Well, I don't know if it's the same leg. I don't know if the last was right or left, but it's the leg again.
Well, it's a different person too.
Oh, that's right. Regardless, you like hitting people in the legs.
Yep. I was trained to take out the knees.
Yep. So, how many damage die on your baseball? Or sorry, combat dice on your baseball bat?
I just have one person.
Okay, so roll 2
Okay.
because of your excess success.
I rolled 2 6s.
2 6s, so that's 2 damage. Does the baseball bat have any effects listed in effects or qualities rather?
That's not.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, you just whack him on the leg for 2 points of damage. Well done. He seems. I mean, it's not pleasant. He seems more like distracted and caged. I would say Mortimer, given your background, you can probably see that his eyes are like one is super dilated and one is like a pinhole. And your olfactory sensors are probably picking up some sort of strange, acrid chemical reek coming off of him. So you think that he is probably under the influence of some sort of strange wasteland concoction. So maybe he's not feeling all the pain, but you would have been dealing it. Who's next? Zam, I think.
Yes. I suppose I'll just shoot him again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Use up all them bullets.
I'm sure I'll be fine. I'll use Vats again.
Yeah.
For the head.
Yeah, of course. Do it.
1 success.
Cool. Roll it up. No armor, no resistance.
I got a 1 and a 5. The other 2 don't count.
Cool. So that's 2 more points. Straight to the noggin. Yeah, you give him a similar Jonah Hex thing that he gave Stan.
Sure.
And of course you have fired a gun on the firing range before, but it is quite a different thing, I think, to like shoot a human being, if you can call these people human, All right, Royce.
I'll ask later.
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy an extra die.
or do it.
Step up, pugilist style. I have 1 complication and 1 hit,
Okay. We'll deal with the complication in a
and
second.
make that 2 complications and 1 hit.
Ooh, would you like to spend a couple of points of luck to redo those complications?
Sure, I'll spend 2 points of luck.
Yeah.
And that means that turns into just a miss and then a crit 1. So
Ooh,
goes up to 3.
beautiful. Let's see where you are, where you're headed to. You are headed to a leg. So roll all your damage and then decide if you want to bank those excess successes or just do damage.
Right.
Because I think y'all are at 0 action points now.
Ooh. That's 3 2s and a 1. So that's a pummeling of the leg. So I will bank the extra 2 dice.
Yeah, you should. So you go back to action points. I'm
We
gonna
have
We go
4. We have 4 now.
yeah. Is that right? Cool. So you maybe you just had the right angle, and maybe Mortimer's swing with the baseball bat was stronger, and you just do this like kind of drop down low and then just punch him right in the femur with your knuckles, and you hear it snap. Cause hey, if you take more than 5 points, and this should be familiar to you, Reth, if you take more than 5 points of damage at any one time, that's a critical injury. So yes, you with your bare hand / knuckles break this guy's femur. I mean, Mortimer probably fractured it to help. And he immediately just topples to the ground screaming. He's still an active combatant, and he does have a gun, but he is effectively immobile. Cool. It is his turn. He is currently the only combatant. He is badly injured. He is going to attempt his turn and run perk, which is if he is the only remaining enemy, or the only remaining person, he can try to get out. The problem is you have immobilized him. So he begins to crawl away. Oh, geez, bud. I'm so sorry for having come in here and messing up your party. I'll just see myself out. No Minnesota goodbyes. Cool. What does Stan do about that?
I guess he would go up and just try to finish him.
Yeah.
Just walk up with the pipe wrench and he's gonna aim for the head and just.
I will say you can do that without the increased difficulty because he is effectively prone.
Okay. So.
And do you want to spend any bonus die? Spend any action points to get bonus die?
Yeah, I'll spend 1.
Okay.
We'll go down to 3.
Oh,
So
and
that
I
is.
forgot the complication for Royce. I'll come back to that in a second.
So that's 3 successes. 1 was a 3, or 1 was a 3, 1 was a 1.
So a total of.
Yeah.
Is this
So 3 successes.
Is this a tag?
3 successes.
I thought this was a tag skill for you.
It is not.
Oh.
Melee weapons are not. It's small guns that is.
Got it. Okay, so 3 successes, which is 2 excess, which you can hold on to or bank here in a second. Let me tell you. You're hitting the head, so you know you're not getting any armor. So you can turn those excess successes into more damage die, or you can bank them and get full. Well, almost full.
I'll do 1 additional damage die, and then we'll bank 1 to make us go back up to 4.
Cool.
So that is a 1 damage.
Cool. It's still pretty bad. Because you just conked him. It's the sound of a pipe wrench hitting someone's skull. It's not great.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a little gross for Zam because you haven't experienced. I mean, there's a library of all kinds of videos, but it's all, sanitized and G-rated. Like you've never been exposed to this kind of violence before, so it's kind of ewy. But yeah, he's just hunkering down. He's continuing to crawl. What's Mortimer or Zam doing?
I'm gonna attack with my buzzsaw.
Cool, do it. I'm saying same thing. If you want to aim for any part of his body that isn't armored, you can just do it.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. And it's 2 or 3 dice. I can't remember. Sorry, I got confused earlier.
It's 2 die unless you spend. It's always 2d20. You may spend action points to buy additional die, up to 5 total.
And that is 1 critical success, so 2 successes.
Cool, excellent. So go ahead and roll that up, and I would say add an extra damage die because you all have a fair amount of action points.
Okay, 6 and a 2.
Oh, so for 3 points of damage, he is still alive, but you like slice down with your buzzsaw, and it just catches him on the neck, and like maybe it like catches in like the vertebrae and kind of grinds a little bit. There's just a spray of blood. This is a very antiseptic, or until literally moments ago, a very clean antiseptic. Lots of whites and pale yellows and pale blues. The occasional Syntec, a subsidiary of Loop Corporation, kind of screen printed on the walls. Very pristine. And now there's just this spray of blood all over the walls, the ceiling, the floors, you guys. He is choking and close to death, but not dead. Zam, what do you do?
Zam will refrain from attacking and try not to throw up in the mop bucket.
Cool. Yeah, give me an endurance roll.
Sure.
I'm gonna say difficulty 2 because this is your first exposure.
Ooh, I got a complication.
Bless.
Cool. I think because it's silly, it's a complication. I think you wind up using 2 buckets.
It's fine
because it's both ends.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, you're just like you're having a moment in the broom closet. But
I
this
will also just close the door.
I'll be right back. Close the door. Squat on one bucket, hold the other to your face. There's some sounds that come out, but yeah, it's bad. Cool. Well, that's great. Hey Royce, these are bad dudes, right? This is not some, I was forced into banditry to protect myself or whatever. These are awful people. So what do you do?
Royce is gonna go up and try and end him by just punching in his head.
Yeah.
Also, with the last round, there were no complications because I re-rolled both of them.
Oh, excellent. Good.
So
I was gonna have you like
so
sprain a finger or something.
we got 1 success. I'm gonna buy a second die just to
Do
end
it.
this guy. 2 successes.
Beautiful. Roll up that crazy punchy damage.
Yep, crazy punchy damage. A 6 and a 1, and a 2 and a 5.
Oh my gosh! So 5 points of
So-
damage.
So I will just from the backside. Basically, it's a crushed melon.
Yeah,
It's
and,
like
and
putting,
probably
putting
just
your
like
fist in a cantaloupe.
probably just punch until
I've Royce has
noises.
seen what these guys do before.
Yeah,
and
spray all over everywhere. The pneumatic door to the closet opens up. A very pale, sweaty Zam looks out to see just splatter where this dude's head was, and Royce kind of shaking off a fist. Your mom pops over the intercom, Sam. See, I knew you and your friends would get along. A little extracurricular activity is the best way to make friends, don't you think, Sammy? By the way, I have a few of the interlopers cordoned off and am, sending cleaning bots and things like that to try to distract them and take care of them. But I am preparing for a radiation purge of the facility to destroy anything living. So you might want to get out now.
Do we have a
Alright.
time limit?
Well,
Anybody who's not Stan, let's get out of here.
Yeah. Or Mortimer. Don't worry about your mother. I'll be fine, sweetie. You should come back and get me later. I'm sure a clever boy like you could find a way to decouple me from this facility systems and find a new home for me to live in. Or a fancy free-roaming body like your dad.
Okay. I'll think about that.
Cool. You should probably go now.
Okay. And we will head to the vault entrance.
Yep. Cool. Is anyone doing anything other than just booking it?
I'm gonna pick up the dude's gun.
Yep.
As we leave, or his bullets. Maybe not his gun, but
Ah, yes. So, does it give me... it is a pipe revolver.
okay.
And it looks like it has a modified grip.
Okay.
Specifically a sharpshooter grip. So that is pretty good. It doesn't give me the total number of ammo he has, but I'm going to say no problem to just loot it up. And we'll see how many ammo you're able to recover. Ooh, 8. 38.
838s.
Yeah. And a sharpshooter's pipe revolver. Cool. So, cinematic scene. A lot of like running and then hearing the howling and like pounding of feet coming and like dodging into a room and ducking low in these, like pristine classrooms and offices, leaving just a trail of blood and gore everywhere. There's a super scary scene where someone like, hey, someone's bleeding. Sounds like dinner. And they start to follow you, but then a little cleaning bot comes out and suctions up the blood so that they lose the trail. It probably takes you a good 10 minutes of running and hiding and dodging and whatever. Maybe occasionally, like you're on an upper level and some people below take some pot shots at you, and so you lay down some suppressing fire. So it's an action-packed montage. But you make your way till you see the still slightly open door. Now, the question is, are you going to leave the door as is?
No, let's close it.
Royce will be all in for closing it.
Close it from the other side.
Cool.
So from the outside.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
selfishly, he's thinking, I know where this is. Like, that's a gold mine. Regardless of what this, vault dweller can do, like, that's something to retire off of.
Yeah.
So.
Assuming the radiation purge doesn't destroy everything.
Well,
that'd be fine.
I give Sam, Stan the 70-30 cut. So.
Right. Cool. So I think obviously, you've got one official, completely, standard issue Pip-Boy and one hacked one between you. Go ahead and add Royce hacked Pip-Boy to your inventory. It's a weight of 1 or less than 1. I forget. It's not anything you have to worry about. Yeah. So maybe there's like a little bit of a jostle as Royce starts to go and like pull out the little cord from his janky Pip-Boy, and Sam's like, hello. But yes, just as you hear the howling and just the scraping of metal on metal, because as they're running through the facility, they're dragging their tire irons along the walls just to be jerks. Just as that horde begins to approach, and you can just see movement inside the entryway, the door slides shut. And Zam, there's a quiet moment. Everyone catches their breath a little bit, and you look around, and you can see it's just this little shed, little kind of corrugated iron or corrugated steel, I suppose, shed, and there's like a pile of bones and a really disgusting, smelly thing that you sleep in, sleeping bag, right? Some empty bottles of Nuka Pop, maybe a can of pork and beans that's been opened. But what really attracts your attention is the scene outside the open door. You see kind of rolling landscape. You see kind of off in the distance water. It's scrubby. It's scraggly. All of the holotapes that you've watched, of course, they would all have been in green screen, but you've been assured that the sky is supposed to be this blue and the clouds are supposed to be super fluffy. It's kind of a bluish brownish color. The clouds don't look super healthy. It's a lot to take in, but I would say it's also new. And you are outside the world that you have known. And clearly it's possible for people to survive out here and be, as far as you can tell, relatively decent people who are helpful. So perhaps this is just a next phase in your journey in life, at least until however long it takes for the radiation levels in your vault to drop. Cool. I think that is where we'll pause as our group of 4 people look out over this vista, familiar to some, new and potentially exciting to others. I will call Zam's attention in one final, just as the credits start to roll, scene, patting a pocket on your vault suit for that syringe and the holotape with the formula in it, because that might be important. Cool. It was Mildred all along. Awesome. Well, thanks. So first time I've ever run it. So if I made any mistakes, totally my fault. But I'm just relying on my understanding of the 2D20 system, which I love and adore. Cool. Let's go ahead and do that round robin where we say who we are and where people can find you next. This time we'll start with Betty.
Hi, I'm the back one. I have my own channel somewhere on Twitch, and what am I doing next? Tomorrow night I'm playing the game with friends. I don't know what friends, and I don't know what game, but I'll figure it out by then. Other than that, I'll be back here in like 2 Sundays.
Awesome.
For more Zam adventures and a jolly good time.
Yes. You might be going to Camelot. We don't know. Hey, Govan.
Hi, I am Govan, or Govan88 is what I am on Twitch. I know most of you probably don't know who this is, but you'll probably see me in the stream of Juices TV as a chatter all the time because I'm there almost the 6 days a week he streams. I don't stream anymore. This is the only time I ever stream is when I'm doing these things. But yep. Over to you, villain.
I am Villain. Your only villain, Vil. Multiple nicknames. You can pretty much just find me here at C Plus Content and over at Juices TV, and then some other friendos here and there. I do not stream anymore. I don't know when that's ever going to start back up again. But yeah, Rith.
I am Rith, or Rith_13 on Twitch. You can find me pretty much here and only here. Otherwise, I am usually lurking or causing trouble in some of other friend channels to C+ content to
Awesome.
0.
Awesome. Thanks. And I've been Zero, your narrator. And as for all my ballyhoo, I neglected to activate narrator buddy. So apologies for that. I'll do a quick scan back and do a rough count. The good news is in this system, all of your banes and boons, all of your banes just turn into action points for me that I can use, and I get an unlimited number. So yay! Yeah, this has been our first time playing Fallout. We actually have been trying to put together a Fallout games like since it came out, since the playtest rules were available. But it took a while, and glad we were finally able to. And I welcome you all to the wonders of post-apocalyptic Megasota, because it's a fantastic land of many, many lakes, most of which are radioactive. Cool. Awesome. Well, let's do the thing where let's say goodbye to our friends on YouTube, then we'll come back and find someone to rate to. So goodbye, friends on YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
Hi, friends on YouTube.